making. Today I will be making a German lovely crumbly cake with apples and crumble on top. So what you're gonna need is in total 575 grams of flour, 400 grams of butter, 225 grams of sugar, 1 egg, a teaspoon of cinnamon, vanilla sugar or vanilla extract. You can put in on top apples. I'm going to use applesauce because I found loads of applesauce that was about to go off. And I just thought, you know, before I throw them out, why not make a cake? But you can always add, you know, freshly chopped apples as well, or walnuts if that's what you like. Do I have any nuts here? No, just ground almonds, but that's okay. A pinch of salt and some powdered sugar. So first of all, you preheat the oven at 175 degrees, or roughly 180 degrees, right? So for our pie dough, we need 200 or 300 grams of flour. So I got this nice bag of flour at Aldi. Nice whole meal flour. So 300 grams for the dough. So we're at 2, now 3. So that's perfect. Now get this in our bowl. That's great. Then 200 grams of butter. Have exactly 400 here in my pack, so I'm just gonna halve that. I just pop that into the microwave for 30 seconds so that it's a bit softer, because as you know, it all happens with us dads, I forgot to take it out of the fridge before starting this video. But you know what? These things happen, that's fine. And just make do with what you have. And if I have a microwave to melt down my butter, why should I not use it? So let's get this puppy in there. Let's see. 30 seconds should be fine. So what else do we need? 100 grams of sugar. So let's grab my sugar here. Put in 100 grams, great. 100 grams of sugar. My vanilla. And as I always say, we like vanilla here. Some people might want less vanilla flavor, but I think that it's a nice kind of flavor. And then my egg. So a lovely corn-fed egg, also from Aldi. So, and then our butter. Let's give it another 30 seconds. Probably not complete 30 seconds. Just a little bit more so that it's melted. Like, it doesn't need to be super melted, but a bit more would be great. So yeah, that's there. So now I have nice buttery consistency here. So let's pop that baby in here and make sure that we don't lose anything. So, and now let's whisk it up. To make our lovely cake dough. I'm making this recipe for the first time, so I'm not 100% sure. And of course it's stuck in my whisk, so I'm not 100% sure if I'm making enough of the dough. So or if I have enough for the dough to cover my pan. So I might need to make more, but for now, I'll just use my fingers. I've just washed them, so that's all fine. Let's just get in there and get this dough together and make sure that we're not missing out of any of our lovely and nice ingredients. I like to buy the organic or corn-fed eggs at Aldi or Lidl or wherever you can buy your eggs. I prefer them. I know they cost a little bit more, but you know, in the grand scheme of things, that's okay. So now our dough is one mass. I'm quickly gonna see that I spread it over here in my tray. Now let's see if it's too wide. That's okay. I'll just use my hands. If you have a rolling pin that's the proper size for your pan, then by all means use a rolling pin to spread your dough nice and thin. If not, then you have to go old school and use your hands, you know, and see that everywhere is evenly distributed. So let me just quickly see. So I think I may need to make more dough. Maybe not the same amount, but a little bit more dough. Because I am missing out a little bit, or will I just leave it like this? I might just leave it like this and fold it up on the end bit. So, but let me just continue doing this here. So as you can see now, my dough doesn't fully reach over, but that's okay. I can make a little bit of a border and also fold up the end. And I'll support it behind with some baking paper. So, as you can see here, now this should be enough. So, let's just make sure that we don't have too much crust here. So, okie dokie. Now that's good. So now that we have our base, our dough, you normally now spread it with, you know, with your apples in addition to your sauce. Silly me, didn't buy any apples. So what I am going to do is mix together all of my apple sauces, because be a shame if they go off, you know, so why not use them? So, and yes, they're all different. This here's brambles, the other one was Ballymaloo, and it'll just, you know, give a nice flavor of various apples and their flavorings. And I'll just have a taste before I spread it on, just to see if it needs something more or if we're all okay. And now a third glass. So you don't always need to make, you know, pork to use with your applesauce. You can just bake with it. So let's see that I can mix through. And as always, I used a bowl that's barely large enough for my mass to be contained in, but that's okay. If there's some on the side, then I'll just clean it up later. So now I'll use a fresh teaspoon and just make sure when it comes down to the flavor. Yeah, nice apple flavor. So let's try not to lose anything. So now I'm going to take my dough and my applesauce mixture, and just going to spread it nice and even now across the dough. And the nice thing here is that one of the sauces had a few apple chunks in them, or in it. So now I have a few apple chunks without having to go buy apples. So, okay, that's great. So last, but definitely not least, we need to make our butter, right? So now this time I really need to melt the butter. So 200 grams, as you can see here, 200 grams. Let's get this to the side, into a bowl, because it's a huge chunk here, 200 grams. I'm gonna cut it to more manageable and meltable sizes. So, and pop it into the microwave for 30-second blasts until it's melted. So, until it is melted. So what else do we need? We need 275 of flour. So back with our, back here. So 275 flour. That's 75. Perfect. So then let's put that into our bowl. And then we need 125 of sugar. 125. So, okay. And then we need our cinnamon. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, but to be honest, cinnamon flavor can be a bit more predominant, I feel. So let's use just that bit more, and a pinch of salt. So small pinch of salt. So that's done. Now let's blast our butter more. Our butter. And while we wait, we can already put away some of our things. So I'm going to fill my flour into my glass container for my flour. And like I used to exclusively use white flour, but I've come to appreciate wholemeal a lot, especially the pancakes that you've seen on my channels are wholemeal, and it does give it a few more seconds. The wholemeal does give it a really nice consistency. And a bit, yep, it's a bit more sturdy, I feel. Oh, that's done. The butter is done. So I feel it's a bit sturdier when it comes to pancakes. You know, depending on the thickness that you like, you might like a sturdy pancake. You know, or you may not, but you probably do. So let's just see. So, okay, there we go with our butter. Here is our lovely melted butter. We're now going to dump all our butter in here and give it a good whisk and incorporate all our ingredients together. Again, let's get that out of our whisk. So we're just gonna wait a moment for it to cool down a bit more and to incorporate all of our mixture. And as you can see, it's already nice and crumbling up. Some bigger, some smaller, just the way that it's supposed to be. I mean, if you like all small, of course, by all means, maybe use a rough sieve and, you know, whisk or put the mixture through. Or if you like it a little bit more rough, like this, then that's fine too. So I can already smell the lovely cinnamon come through. So let's just get these things out of the way so we can see. And here is our cake. You know, I'm just gonna use, you know, my fingers to crumble through, to crumble this a bit through and just start spreading. And you know, like I said, to me, it can be a bit, you know, rougher. It doesn't all need to be same size or so. And as always, if you realize you didn't make enough crumble mass, then just make a bit more, you know. You'll get the hang of it when it comes to the sizes of your baking tins and all of that. So let's make sure we are nice and covered. Yeah, I did a good job here, didn't I? Or we all did. You know, you guys are watching this video now, and maybe you're doing it just at the same time. So, like Bob Ross used to say, huh? To be all friends, we can all make this together. So nice and crumbly. So I'll get the rest on and I'll wash my hands again. Okay, well, basically that's really it. It's gonna go into the oven now for, let's say, 45 minutes on 175. That's 350 Fahrenheit in the middle of the oven. Watch your crumbs, they can burn easily, but if you pay attention, you know, and you can check this is not going to collapse, right? Like a cake would collapse. So you can open up the oven and check. And you can make this with your kids. As you saw, there was no electricity involved, you know, so they can make the batter, they can flatten out the batter with their hands, put in the applesauce. If you want to chop apples, of course, you probably should do the chopping of the apples, but then of course they can spread it and making the crumbles. Again, another thing that you can do nicely with your kids. And yeah, and then enjoy a nice apple crumbly cake afterwards. So as always, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, and if you enjoy my videos, why not head over to Patreon and join one of the tiers. And otherwise, yeah, I'll see you again soon. Steve is out.